Okay, Ironclad tier list time. I love this guy. A lot of people say he looks like me, a lot of people, and they would know.
Now that I think about it, you do bear some resemblances to the Ironclad, Donald. Anger, corruption, the list goes on.
Oh, very funny, very funny. Can we get on with this?
Fine by me. Where's Joe?
Probably stuck in that defect run. Did you see it? He transformed 2 strikes into 2 copies of Rainbow, and it's not even June.
I don't know what's more surprising, that you watch Joe's stream or that you know when Pride is. Anyway, how do we want to do this? In alphabetical order?
Sure, let's just get into it. Anger is a top tier card. I see an Anger in Act 1, I'm taking it.
If it's Hexaghost or Slime Boss, sure. But what about the Guardian and the other 3 acts of the game? Anger is at best a bridging card, but I'd rather have a pommel strike or a headbutt. It's C tier at best.
It's A tier, and you know it. The first part of the game is the most important, and it stacks the ninja relics like crazy.
I can't in good conscience put a card in A tier when I only pick it in the first few fights of the game. I'll give you B tier and be done with it. On to armaments. I love this card. It's great in long fights. It can reduce energy costs of some of Ironclad's most potent cards, and it can even upgrade your feed for meta scaling. This card does it all.
And what about if you find Apotheosis? Did you consider that?
Donald, this game is played with the cards you're offered, not the cards you want. It's A tier for me. Don't tell me you don't love drawing a big hand and upgrading it all.
Fine, fine, have it your way. Let's talk about Barricade. 3 energy, that's an expensive way to build a wall. I pick this thing when I have Snecko Eye or Mummy Hand, but don't take it over other rares. Sure, it's better with the boat relics, but so's winning the fight. And don't talk to me about Corruption Dark Embrace. That shit is so broken you'd have to be dumb to lose. Stick Barricade in C tier.
Finally, something we can agree on. Let's skip Bash. Now, Battle Trance is the clearest S tier card I've ever seen. Draw 3 for 0. It's like Pot of Greed's dad, but in a real game.
Sure, it's good, but S tier? Last run it ate my artifact charge and I died to the heart. I reloaded the fight and someone on stream called me a cheater. I'll give you A tier.
Done. And speaking of artifact charges, what about Berserk? This card had a lot of influence on Demon Souls and Dark Souls, according to an article I read on the toilet.
I take this if I have that relic from the Mushroom Squad or if I'm on Pyramid and desperate. It does nothing on the turn you play it, and there are better ways to generate energy. It's C tier for me.
C tier? Did you forget about the orange pellets interaction? You need to reevaluate this card. I'll accept that it's niche, and usually picked in desperation, and rarely the reason you win. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe you're right. C tier it is.
You're goddamn right it is. Now, blood for blood. When this thing gets going, it really gets going. This is an A tier damage card. It's like a Komodo dragon. It's a big boy and kind of scaly.
Here's a fun fact for you. It's the only card whose upgrade costs less energy and deals more damage. But that means you really have to upgrade it, and if you don't have self-damage, it's often useless the first time you draw it, which frankly doesn't cut it in Act 2. I'll give you B tier.
My first Ironclad win was with blood for blood. Come on, Barry, give this one to me. Donald needs his A tier.
We all remember our first. Mine was on a hot summer's night in 2018. Times were different then.
Good Lord, get me out of this conversation.
Oh, I thought we were having a moment.
I'll admit, I've enjoyed doing this, Barry, but now I've got to make like a shepherd.
Fly around in the Normandy and attempt to defeat the Reaper?
No, you dumbass. Get the flock out of here. See you later, suckers.